think that's very broad, isn't it? Because in a class, I mean, I've been there, for 34 years, as
yes.
you know, that, you can have, I once had 3 autistic children, but on an autistic spectrum, they have all very different and varying needs, and that expertise is needed. And likewise, a child with dyslexia or dyspraxia, that knowledge and understanding to be able to intervene at a very early stage, to give that support at the earliest stage to prevent long-term distress, long-term perhaps regression in terms of learning, could be prevented.
And you're right, and you've got the National Association for SEN, NASEN, is leading a consortium to train not just school teachers but staff across the teaching profession and the support staff as well in schools, as well as the Autism Education Trust. And they're up to, I think they've trained 270,000, if I'm not mistaken. I can get you the exact figure. So there's a lot of investment into training as well. One of the issues we were discussing yesterday at the SEND partnership is also training leaders, as well as the whole...
But thinking about the strategic plan, Nadine, specifically the National Deaf Children's Society tell me over half of teachers of the deaf are over the age of 50 and are due to retire in the next 10 to 15 years. Losing this proportion of teachers of the deaf when local authorities are already reporting difficulty in recruiting them amounts to a national crisis for deaf children. Urgent action is needed. So how are you preparing? I'm talking about a strategic view. We also had some evidence from a parent where he said that there were no trained Braille teachers, for his child. So what's the long-term plan when we're going to be losing skilled, qualified expertise to help our children?
And you're right to raise that. It was actually raised yesterday at the SND partnership.
Well, I might be right, but what's happening?
No. So the way, as we looked at education psychologists and made the investment there, we've got the SEND Leadership Board, which will look at all issues around joint commissioning, around making sure. So what I opened by saying to you, with that, you've got the leadership having a good handle on what the local needs are, and then practitioners on the ground that can deliver on that. So we have to make sure the whole system works together, which is why we made the investment into education psychologists that we've announced recently.
Okay. Anybody else?